Okay guys, welcome to the channel. Let me call it Mr. TheViper, and I think TheViper should be here in a second. Oh my god, you wanted to see he's extra big. Too big, I would say now. How you doing, man?
Hello, am I too big? I'll go further back. No, I'm not too big. Can you hear me well, by the way?
If you can move a bit more at the back, your fans will appreciate it. Go a bit more at the back. No, I'm serious. I see that you can move your microphone, so it's perfect.
They don't want to see me. Is that what you're saying?
They want to see you. I don't know why, because being me here, it's disappointed for me. But they want to see you, man. I don't know, man. It's what it is. Thank you for coming, man.
No worries.
Thank you for coming. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Everything is going well.
I see. So. I think people want to see you more with the webcam in your stream.
Yeah, but you gotta keep back. You don't have to give them everything all at once, right? You gotta hold a little bit back, and then slowly over time.
You're telling me to switch off my own webcam in my channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Thank you so much.
No, I mean I use that for more special events and stuff like that. But yeah.
And to be honest, I think I'm kidding. I'm asking this because it's out of context of King of the Desert. I think it's if you are playing at the in my opinion, if you are playing at your level and so on, it's better to don't have the webcam, because there is so much feelings, you know, when there is some game, some particular moment, you don't want that people see it, right?
I saw when Jordan killed his boar with the town center this weekend. That was good though. That was good though. So
I was casting that, and people was telling, man, I whisper you his reaction, and I was about to make a pause in the stream like, oh, I want to see that too. Well, he came after, because to be honest, with that game, we go really quick into King of the Desert. I thought that he could be beat by Spaden for some minutes. I mean, you were watching the games.
Yeah, well, I think even the last game, if Spaden just dropped the tower immediately between like the main gold and main stone for Jordan instead of being too greedy, then I think Jordan would have probably lost. But
I noticed that the love with Jordan is real, because sometimes I talk with you and I ask you about some of the game, and he's usually most of the times I didn't see that game, or I don't remember. But with this one, you remember all the details, so the love is real, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wanted him to lose, so I had to watch and see if he pulled through or not.
Okay. So how are you feeling with King of the Desert so far? I mean, it's only one round. You have a lot of experience, have played a lot of tournaments, but this one, 1.5, Bubbly, has been a while that you didn't play on Bubbly a tournament, because Nations Cup you didn't play. So how is it feeling for you?
Well, I mean, yeah. After playing on HD edition tournament just this other weekend, it's like the difference to Bubbly is insane. It's but yeah, like I feel fine. I feel good. Everything's going well. Could be a little bit sharper when it comes to mechanics, but yeah, I feel fine. I'm just so happy. User patch 1.5. This is the first time I play a proper tournament on user patch 1.5, and it's just so amazing for the game.
We have to remind to the viewers that this beta is still beta, and Scripter it's trying to make all the time improvements. So yeah. I'm sure that the final version, because it's been so long beta, I guess that when it's beta, it's because he knows that it can be even improved. So might be better in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like it's things that we're gonna feel as players. It's more small bug fixes here and there, but not things that we will like. Like now, you feel the delay from the clicks to when they actually do it is so small now compared to before. I don't think we're going to notice any more changes like that, but yeah, just small bug fixes here and there should be.
Other day I was in a room, and for some reason it was 1.4, and you already, when you go to 1.4, you want to Alt F4 directly, man. It's like, go away. I mean, remove this. Remove this already from Bubbly. So, well, it's very nice.
Yeah, I think from like when it was original game and then to 1.4, how big of a difference that was. And then even from 1.4 to 1.5, even bigger. It's like just...
It's incredible.
Crazy what this guy pulls off.
But then you think, so many years playing like this, and that could be possible? I mean, it's like, why is coming in 2017? Please, 4 years ago, right? Of course, only time, no? But...
I still remember when like they started playing around with spectating, and you had to do it on like with manual files, and it wasn't on Wooble, right? You had to install everything offline and all that stuff, and even that was mind blowing. And yeah, I mean, Scripter especially just keep making this game better for all of us. And
I mean, I think that there was a tool that it was already, and we will go directly, guys. Don't worry, in King of the Desert. But you must understand that Viper feel excited with the improvement in the game. No, was the last game between Vivi and ACCM, I think, was broken. I sent to a scripter 2 minutes after that it was already fixed.
Broken how? What do you mean?
He couldn't. I mean, for some reason, it wasn't upload on public site.
Okay.
He couldn't load anything. I sent the file and he fixed it in 2 minutes.
I thought you meant like the game was broken somehow.
No.
I mean, like
the recorded game, the last game, the recorded game.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
I mean, these guys are amazing.
He's a magician. So.
Yeah, it's the correct word. What do you think? I mean, being direct elimination. What do you think about the format during elimination for the tournament?
Single elimination.
Elimination, yeah.
I like it. I mean, you have the knife on your throat from the start, and the pressure is on. And I love those situations. I mean, if you lose, you're out. It's as simple as that. So you need to perform from the start, and I really like that.
When you have seen in a round one of any tournament the hype that it was the previous weekend, I think probably it helps that, right?
Yeah, and everyone like say Yo, for example, now he would have had a second chance if he went out. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. But now it's like he's out, and that's it. And I like that a lot.
Are you happy that he's out? You mean?
No, I would have preferred to play him.
Do you like to play him, right? In round 3, if you win Jordan.
If I get, of course. If I get there, I always want to play the toughest opponent because it feels better to beat them.
Did you get surprised with his loss?
Yeah, of course. But when I saw he picked Vietnamese, I was like, okay, this might go wrong. But
when you are already starting to kill my question, I have some question in the second monitor. But we will go and then we go all connected. Why? I mean, most of the Chinese pick Vietnamese, and for me, Vietnamese is not one of the best civilizations in the expansions.
I asked Yo why he and all the Chinese players pick Vietnamese, and he just said, well, he regrets it now, but he didn't like give a specific reason. But I mean, I think they're starting to realize that it's. I mean, Vivi lost with Vietnamese as well, like the last game, right, against ACCM, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't know if any of the other Chinese players picked it though, like Lux and these guys.
I think he picked also Vietnamese 2 leagues, but the thing is, with that civilization, well, with any civilization, if you make, I don't know, a forward crazy aggressive and you get your opponent by surprise, you can win with any civilization. But if the game go farther, Vietnam against a lot of civilizations has no chance almost. I mean, no chance, but it's complicated.
Yeah, everything is always situational, but yeah, there are better civs for sure.
Okay, well, one question that a lot of people probably did in your channel, but I wanted to make to you. Why you didn't try, or you tried, I mean, your rating, number 6, number 7 seed, and so on. Why you didn't try so much? Because you didn't try so much to get, like, okay, I'm going to go the number 1, or at least number 3. You didn't have that in your mind, I'm sure about that.
Well, how else would I meet Jordan right away?
What the hell?
No, but I mean...
But it can be important, I mean...
It can be, but like I can't place like 100% or try hard mode in rated games all the time. I get bored and I just want to take breaks from the game if I do that. I need to play...
Relax it?
No, just have fun, create some fun games, experiment a little bit and all that stuff. It's like... Rating doesn't really matter to me at all, so I mean... But of course it affects the seeding somewhat, but... I mean... Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just like I don't really bother too much.
Let me ask you in another way. When you have to focus 100% for some purpose, at the end, if you do that constantly all the days, it loses a bit the fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's a big part of it. It's like if you want to play to not lose, the play styles to do that they aren't very fun. It's like walling up and playing passive macro games most of the times. It's not very fun to play. So if I do that all the time,
you're still killing me my questions. Because there was what question? I mean, what style is better, defensive? Or, no, it's a joke. Yeah. Go on.
But it's like, you killed my flow now. let me think.
No,
where was I?
Yeah, no, but it's it what we were talking. I mean, when you are playing safe, right? The build order is like in a specific situation, you wall most of the times. I have seen you playing with many civilizations. Like, what is Viper doing? Like, you are trying stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't like a lot of people always like to say, yeah, he's just trolling all the time. But I mean, like, just because you're experimenting doesn't always mean you're trolling. But like, I'm still playing to win, even though I'm trying some weird, crazy stuff, right? So I still like to give credit to the opponents. I don't like that people just completely discredit them. But yeah, like the tournament style, you can call it, like stone walls, walled up, and yeah, just safe. It's not very fun to play. It's not very fun to play.
Yeah. So defensive beat the aggressive play. Yeah,
but like as well, like I stream now as part of my livelihood, right? So like I stream 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week, and that's a lot of hours of gameplay. And if I was to just play try hard all the time, I think I would get bored of the game, and I would want to pretty much leave it, pretty much. So yeah. I need to play like the way I'm doing right now.
Did happen that to you in the past?
I've had 2 times where I felt like, wow, I'm really bored of this game, and I've taken longer breaks. So, but yeah, right now with Wallow Kingdoms and I mean all the improvements, it's really helping, and yeah, the game is very fun in its current state.
Okay, that's nice. How you feel then facing now Jordan in round 2 this Saturday, 11 GMT, right? How you feel playing against him?
Well, I didn't. It was never the plan to meet him this early, right?
Yeah.
And we wanted to meet at some point, but not this soon. But yeah, I guess I can kind of blame. I mean, I can take some part of the blame for that. But like when I went to bed like 3-4 hours before the seeding was closed, it was updated earlier that day, and I was seed 10 and he was seed 11, and neither of our ratings changed much. So I was really surprised when I woke up and saw the text message.
The others change.
Yeah, that's probably contributed. Yeah. So I was surprised when I woke up and saw the message, and yeah. But I mean, we got to make the best out of it now. Nothing to do.
But this is special motivation for you?
Well, yeah, it's always enjoyable to kill him, so it's gonna be fun.
Well, the last event you played, the last big event against him, he won you. The best of 21. I don't remember
Was that the last time we played though?
The last event, big event, he won you 11-10. I mean, I remember that before the Maldives, you were playing, I don't know if you remember, like, it was around summer or something like this, like 3 or 4 days in a row, playing a lot.
Played like 100 games.
100 games, then Maldives, and then Jordan said, well, enough for me, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Because, so the last time, I'm trying to motivate you even more. The last time you lost.
I don't need more motivation.
You don't need, that's what I wanted to listen. Okay, yeah. That's good. Okay, we can go for another Titans. Doubt and Fire facing in King of the Desert. Who's going to win that?
Well, I think Doubt will have a slight edge, but Fire is a great player. You can never rule him out. And with these settings where it's like there's no mirror civilizations at all, that makes also the RNG of the map creation a little bit more important. So you need a little bit of luck in the order you choose your civs, and also in the way the map spawns for you. So I mean, you need to have a little bit of luck. But like Doubt should be slightly favored, but he hasn't played much lately. I know he's busy with doing something else. So
okay,
I'm not sure how his shape will be going into this. Well, I know Fire really wants to perform and win, so it's going to be very close. But I think Doubt still has a slight edge, but you can never rule out Fire.
Okay. Well,
last time they played, Fire won 6-1 in a best of 11 between them.
Okay. Some people is telling something is not related to that, but they are telling that your chair is better than mine, and it's probably true. But what the hell, man? He's #1 player. I am number one.
Isn't it the same chair?
It's not the same. It's not this. Well, I don't know the
No, it's not. Yeah.
It's not. Mine is orange. Yours is red. But he's #1 player. I am #1 caster. The player is always the caster all the time. You know. Okay. Now I wanted to ask you. In the questions that Swiss Boy was doing to you, yes or no, you didn't answer to that question.
Yeah, but
you don't consider yourself the best player of all the time?
I can't answer that because I only played since 2010, right? I don't know the 10, 11 years before that. It's like, I don't feel like I'm the right person to judge.
And it's hard to, how the game was, how the game is now, and
and I never got to play like a player like Cohen, for example, at his prime. It's like, who am I to judge?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Who is the second strongest Tyrant for you? Now or all times? If you put in, you can answer in both.
Like all time, so like I could go back to 2013, 14.
For example, and then actually.
Well, Jordan for overall. But currently, it's a little bit hard to tell. I think I would say Riot if Riot was active. But since Riot is
active
not playing,
players, yeah,
he's not playing much these days. I don't know. I haven't played much with Slam lately. I know Slam's skill is amazing. He's a very good player, and I think in his prime, he probably playing relaxed. He probably beats Doubt, for example. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't played much with Slam lately, so currently I will have to say Doubt probably because he's the one I played most with, and from what I can feel playing him, he's very strong.
Okay, well,
yeah, it's hard to judge because I haven't played much with Slam or Fire, for example.
If everyone has bans, you could face if both of you win all the time, you will face Slam in the semifinal.
Wait, what?
If you win your games and Slam win his games, you will face Slam in the semifinal, right?
Yeah, it could be. I think he's on the bottom side. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be in the semifinal with you.
Yeah, Melkor, right? Yeah, he's playing Melkor now. So
yeah, tomorrow at 20 GMT. What was
tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow they play Slam and Melkor 20 GMT. What was the greatest surprise, positive and negative in the first round? It can be connected, probably.
Positive and negative. I don't know if you can say there's anything negative.
Well, negative, like upset, like someone that you expect.
Oh, upsets. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, biggest upset would obviously be Yo losing to Stark. Yo is one of the probably like before this event, I would say he's one of the favorites to win, and now he's out. So I think that's the biggest upset. Positives, probably Max beating Lux, or who was the other one? It was one more. It was one more upset.
Melkor Bhakti?
Melkor Bhakti, yeah. That's the other one. So,
that was for me a surprise, actually. I mean, I interview Melkor, and when you see his face, it was a surprise for himself, because his face was like, whoa, unbelievable.
Yeah. Now Bhakti struggles a little bit in tournaments sometimes with his mental game.
It happens similar to Slam? Him and Bhakti and Slam?
I don't know if it's similar. I feel like Bhakti is just like, if he gets one bad game, he can just Titanic after that completely. It's like, I feel like he gets affected more by how the games go, while Slam might be more like just the whole picture as a whole.
Okay.
But I think Slam he's getting way better at dealing with it. And I think Slam will do really well in both this tournament and also in future tournaments.
I think streaming is helping him also, because being exposed with all the people already there is like, well, you feel the pressure also streaming, because when you are without the streaming alone, okay, if you lose and you get frustrated, you eat yourself, but you are not dealing with the crowd all the time. And now he's streaming, so I feel that he should be more ready for this tournament. I don't know if you feel the same.
I mean, I don't know if streaming necessarily affects it, but like it's a thing you get used to. It's the same with tournament, like streaming as well. You're probably a little bit nervous at first, but like right now, like for you, it's probably just the most natural thing in the world right now to jump on the computer and turn on the stream. It's like, I do this every day. It's like it's the same with tournaments. The more you play, the more experience you get, and the further you get, and it just gets better and better.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, who do you think is your, how to say, not enemy? I don't like to enemy. The guy that you don't want to. The guy that you don't want to face in this tournament, well, don't want, or you want to face because you think is the strongest player.
That's a tough one. I guess looking at the brackets, I think it's probably going to be Leary or Doubt from the other side of the bracket. Yeah, it's probably those two. Like, I would love to, if possible, I would love to meet Doubt in the final and slap him, but I'll take Leary as well if I get there.
Yeah, well, but it's normal. I understand why Doubt, but who do you think it will be more complicated for you if you reach in the final?
Harder to beat, you mean?
Yeah, harder to beat.
Well, I'm only thinking players on the other side of the bracket now, because those are the ones I could meet in the final, but probably Leary or Tato would probably be. Tato's playstyle is always, he can always surprise you, so it's hard to predict. While Leary is more of a solid, mechanically strong player, so probably two of those.
Tato is like a bit more creative? Like maybe can
Kato,
do some stuff like, oh, what is doing here now, right?
I don't think he's like overly creative. Like people like to think of him like he just goes full random, completely silly strategies sometimes that are just to like put the enemies off. But his strategies are very very calculated, and it's a lot of thought goes into his strategies. And it's like when he gets things in the right, like if he gets the game going the way he wants it to, according to his plan, then it's like it can be really hard to stop.
Okay. About the balance right now, you will change something? Do you think some units are broken? There is something like, oh man, this should be updated a little bit.
I think Arambai costing only wood and gold is a little bit bad, because Burmese have such a good wood economy because you get free wood upgrades, and producing Arambai at the same time as booming with only costing wood and gold is, especially like if you get Arambai mangonel composition, it's so hard to beat. So Arambai are a little bit broken, I feel. Camel archers can be extremely strong as well in the right circumstances, so they need a little bit of a change as well. I don't know what to do with them though. Maybe make their production time a little bit longer. And also, I don't think eagles are as OP as people like to think, but I think you could change their production time a little bit in Castle Age, because that's way too fast, I think. Sorry, I've been streaming for 5 hours. My throat is a little bit.
Do you understand when you asked me, Bem, can we do the interview yesterday? And I told you I need to rest. Don't die, Viper. Come on. People will blame me.
You know? I'm fine.
People will blame me.
Yeah. I'm out of water.
No, fine. I was yesterday. I understand you. I was dead. I mean, my voice is still so because I go crazy mode sometimes with the crazy. So better play defensive, okay? Better play defensive, because if you're also aggressive, I go cuckoo. Okay, you feel better now?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Okay.
I mean, I'll probably return at some point, but yeah.
It's fine. Well, you see, I wanted to ask you, Aztecs might... Well, no, first with those... People was telling Indians are somehow broken. I see all the civilization a bit more broken, you said already. I mean, I see that the Imperial Camels are incredibly strong. And thanks God they removed the Arbalest, because if you put Arbalest with the Imperial Camels, try to stop. But really, that Arambais with the Mangonels, how do you stop them? I mean, you need siege onagers. I mean, you need to go in a really late game to make siege onagers, because if not, with Castle Army, how do you stop it? Not even conquistadors.
I think Conks do well against them.
Yeah, but nobody picks the Spanish.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, yeah, there's no counter.
I mean, when I saw that Joe was against Arambais with the civilization he picked, I was like, well, bye-bye, Joe.
Yeah. But I mean, people misplay Indians. You're not supposed to end up in that position, right? That's the problem.
Yeah. You shouldn't be at the end with that.
Yeah. Can I just take like 1 minute to grab some water?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so
go for it. Okay, guys, you can see how the Viper is getting old, guys. It's getting old. Well, we can see some more as the Viper. Okay, I will ask that for you. Don't tell him that I say that, okay? Don't tell him that I say that. Okay, this should be in full screen. I don't know why it's not working. It should be in full screen, but yeah, I don't know why it's not.
The KOTD ~3 can't wait for the upcoming round. Shout out to the 15 Indian viewers.
You feel better? Oh,
yeah.
I don't know why this happened. Someone did. I removed completely all the alert, but it's still not working, man. I removed complete all the alert, but it's still not working. I am now who need a second. No, I remove it. I don't know why it didn't work. But anyway, I wanted.
You should just make. You should make another alert profile in Streamlabs. You can make different profiles. So you can make one for when you need to be muted or something like that, and one for normal.
You have to explain me that, but later. Someone was asking, membTV, ask the Viper what he thinks is the reason that this game is so popular after so many years? We all love this game, but you, Viper, won everything. What kept you going?
Well, it's I mean, the game has incredible depth. It's like, first of all, there's so many civilizations, right? I think there's 34 now, or what?
31.
31, yeah, 31 civs. There's also 4 different resources to manage. There's so many different paths and directions and strategies to go for, and also with the random map generation, it's just like it adds so much replayability of the game, and yeah, I feel just like all those things combined really makes it still possible to play this day to day.
I actually don't agree 100% with the viewer, because I think the game should be even more popular. Because if you check, for example, popularity according to Twitch, you know, Age of Empires is not popular. I mean, we think that it's popular because we see 1,000 viewers, and for example, 1,000 or 2,000 viewers for other games, it's in quotes, I put, it's nothing, right? It should be, in my opinion, more popular, because I think there's still a lot of people coming that don't even know that the game is still being played.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can see it's growing every day still. But I mean, it's hard to compete with the popular modern games, because kids growing up today, I mean, like the teenagers these days, they're not going to look to Age of Empires most of the time. And they're more interested in the PUBG and those guns and like all those random games. So.
Well, about that, I wanted to ask you how you see also the future, because it's important to grab new players, right? Like, but new players in the game that also get strong, like Leary, that is really young. But Leary, for example, is an exception, because he's really young and he loved this game. But most of the kids, because he's a kid, no offense, Leary, if you are around, don't see this game like interesting. So
yeah, well, I mean, they're still the odd one out, right? But I mean, like the majority, they're not attracted to Age of Empires anymore. But I mean, you never know. Age of Empires 4 might change things. So yeah, just have to wait and see.
Are you excited also with the, well, at least curious to see, what is gonna bring Age of Empires 4?
Yeah, I mean, especially for people like do this for a living now. Like Age of Empires 4 can be a huge boost, or like really help you out in certain situations. So
can also bring people to Age of Empires 2.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of reasons to be optimistic and positive about Age 4, and the fact that Microsoft are supporting the game again.
Yeah, people ask me, and I answer all the time. Well, I about the game I don't know, because I didn't see anything. But for Age of Empires franchise, it's good. And for the Age of Empires 2, it's good as well.
And it's not only Age 4, it's like they are giving out the new Age 1 as well, and Age 2 Definitive Edition as well, which is something I'm going to be really excited for. And yeah, it's just like, it's a very good time to be an Age of Empires fan.
Okay. If Aztecs, Mayans, and Hans were top 3, or maybe with Mongols top 4 AOC, what are your top 3?
Mongols?
Well, for Arabia, you know? We're talking for Arabia.
Mongols?
You don't consider Mongols a top civilization?
No? We're far from.
Okay. Well, I always say that the Mongol has a good opening, but then they don't have a special bonus for the economy, and I see that they are slow. I don't know. I never like it, but people always pick in the past. You know, Hans, Mayans, Aztecs, and Mongols most of the times.
Yeah. Well, Mongols. One of the things that can make them real strong is that they have bigger scouting range, and I mean, they can lame easier, to say it like that. But I don't think that. I think they're overrated. But yeah, go on. What was the question again?
No, the question is, what civilization do you think are now the top 3 in total?
Indians, Malians, and Berbers.
Okay. Any reason in that order?
Not necessarily that order. I think, well, before Arbalest got removed from Indians, I would have said they were number 1 for sure. But with that gone, I probably think maybe Malians is the strongest one.
And how you explain then that not a lot of people, in more than one matchup, not either player A or B, pick Malians?
Noobs.
So, good, yeah. Keep going. Next question, right? Next question.
No,
really. I mean, and they pick Vietnamese, right? It's like, what the hell, man? It's like, noobs.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they don't probably not.
What to say? It's lack of knowledge, right?
I don't know how their
look at people in the chat. Check the chat. Okay, it's crazy. It's crazy. How I continue now, guys? He called noobs on the other, so I cannot keep going, guys. What the hell, man? Well, it's fun. It's fun. It's a good answer. It's like, man, you have to know the civilization properly. Now, seriously, the most important for King of the Desert, in my opinion, is the draft. It's one map, Arabia. So you have to pick perfect. You have to really think, okay, I'm going to pick this, but if the other player pick this, you have to have already like a second chance there to ready to go. But seems like people is going and don't know what to pick.
Yeah, I mean, the draft is half the game at the moment. If you pick the wrong civs, or yeah, I mean, it's just not only picking the right civs, it's a little bit of luck of when you choose them as well, right? Say if you pick Celts, like if you don't get them against a meso civ,
like they did,
it's like and then it's like that's you need to have a little bit of luck as well. Or I mean, you could argue it's a skill in predicting the civs the opponent will go for, but yeah, there's the draft is extremely important. I think it's gonna decide a lot.
Yeah, well,
it already has.
You want to say, well, maybe you don't want to give information to Jordan 23. What is your favorite civilization, if you want, or your favorite unit? Well, the favorite
really hard.
Unit, the favorite unit don't have to be like what you think is the strongest. It's the favorite unit that you like to play, for example. It doesn't have to be the strongest one. The unit that you love to play. For example, I hate Saracens. I don't like the Mamelukes. I know that they are really strong, but I don't enjoy playing with them. And you, what is your favorite?
I really love to play Conquistadors in Castle Age, because they don't have any counter in Castle Age, at least until now. But yeah, I guess Conquistadors in Castle Age. Very specific though. Like I mean, I have a lot of favorite units in certain situations, right? So it's very situational. But yeah, Conquistadors in Castle Age are very fun to micro because they can't be killed.
You see, guys, he loves Spanish, guys. He loves Spanish. I'm telling you guys.
There we go.
I was telling you. But do you think then that Conquistadors are strongest in the 1v1 with Iron Bias?
I think they are better, yeah, but the thing is they don't have any other bonuses to compensate for the bonuses Burmese have, right? So it's like if Spanish had better civ bonuses, they would have been insane. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to play Wololo Kingdoms in the future team competition, or you prefer the 1v1 tournament?
I want to see them in team games as well. It's like there's so much unexplored territory with the new civs in combinations with others. So I definitely want to see it in team games as well. But 1v1 is always the bread and butter of Age of Empires, I feel. And that's where the most hype gets generated, and also where everyone, I mean, I like it because you're just like, the only one you have to rely on is yourself. You don't have to get out to practice and stuff like that. So that's much better.
How do you see the competitive Age of Empires in 1-2 years? Did you think about that?
So what?
Do you think about that?
I don't really think about that now. I mean, just worry about
present.
Present, right? But I think it's going to be very similar. We never know what sponsors might come in, or if Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition brings in something new. Maybe even Age of Empires 1 will bring in something new, and time will show. It's impossible to predict.
Okay, some people is asking in the channel, people ask a lot that, you know, that if for the viewers, if you have 50, 60 civilization, they feel happy. Do you think that now it's needed to add more civilization, more new another, not balance, another expansion, for example?
I don't think you can say it's a must, but I'm always for more civs. Just more variation. It brings more fun to the game, in my opinion, and I prefer that. But like, I understand that it makes it more imbalanced. It can make it more imbalanced, and certain civs might become pretty much useless. But yeah,
I see. Well, Hamal, you are asking if you think it's gonna be a season leader of AOC like League of Legends of Hearthstone. Well, you can answer. I think you have done already, more or less, but you can answer to that.
It won't. It won't.
Yeah.
No chance.
It's impossible. I mean, I think it's impossible to, sadly, but it's really impossible. Well, I wanted to ask you something, but I was reading there. How do you think how important it is in this tournament? Now let's go a bit more for personal. The psychological factor. I always love to talk about that. We were talking more or less before that affects some players. It's really important.
Yeah.
It's really important in tournament.
I mean, it always helps to keep It's very important. You need to keep your nerves and not make. I mean, you need to not let your nerves affect you in the gameplay, because if you're nervous and cold hands and stuff like that, then you're more inclined to make mistakes. So of course it really affects it, and sometimes people might like if you're under pressure, for example, you might make other decisions than you would have if you were completely relaxed, just because of the panic, right? So it's really important to keep everything under control and yeah, just pull off the right decisions pretty much.
Do you think is that one of your advantage? Because let's face it, you have won not all, but most of the tournaments lately, right?
I don't know if you can say mental, like that part, but I think it goes along with, I think I'm good at making the right decisions when it matters. I don't think you can say that has anything to do with keeping your nerves and stuff like that. Maybe, but yeah, I think making the right decisions usually has helped me a lot.
For example, you know that the people like to know how you feel in a specific moment, because even if you are streaming or not, when, for example, against Miguel, there was a moment in the first game that it was looking, we could say, not terrible, but it was looking complicated, the game.
It was looking terrible.
Okay, I was being a bit polite, right? It was looking terrible.
It's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
So, how you were feeling during that game? I mean, if you want to tell, it's... I was feeling like I was in panic. That make that you focus more, or I mean, how affect those moments to you?
I don't think they really affect me too much. It's more like I feel like I always know pretty much what I have to do to have a chance to come back in most situations. So it's just trying to be calm and following through with what I think is right to do. And I mean, I don't really, like, if I'm in the game, I don't ever have the feeling suddenly like, oh my God, I'm gonna maybe lose this. I'll never have that thought. I'll always focus on the tasks and just try to execute it as good as possible.
Do you think in this specific situation, if, for example, Miguel were playing against a 2.2k but more random player, probably he will go more aggressive or different? I mean, people respect you because you are Viper? You know, respect you a bit more. Like, they are more conservative, and against other players they will, because I watch a lot of games and I see those situations thousands of times. I know that you have a lot of experience, but me too, watching, right? And I have seen some situations that the players, when they are playing against 2k players, you know, and they go all in, and with you that don't happen at all.
Well, I don't know. If they've played different because they're playing as me, then that's probably something I've earned, I would say. Like there's probably a reason for that.
For sure.
So I don't know if that's the case or not, but I don't know.
Well, and if it's the case, nice.
You have to ask Miguel.
Yeah. No, but if you think that it can be a possibility, I mean, for example, you probably you don't have that, but when you play against, depend what opponent, do you think that is that opponent, or do you just focus all the time in your gameplay?
I'm always a fan of making your own, I always want to control the game myself. You know, I don't want to have to rely on my opponent making mistakes or playing differently because my opponent is this and this player. Of course, you have to take certain precautions now and then with certain players, but yeah, I never want to switch my style completely because I'm playing this or this player, you know. So
yeah, I think that's positive because you control most of the time the timing of the game, like this. Yeah. Well, I will ask you some of the questions that Swiss Boy was yes or no, okay? But you can explain a bit more, because in those words, use yes or no, okay?
Okay.
Arabia is one of my weaker maps. You said no, and you can explain why it's no. But I think everyone knows.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to explain why. I think I play well in Arabia.
I will ask you in a better way. Do you think Arabia is the main map, the best map?
For Age of Empires?
Yes. StarCraft is other game. It would be for Age of Empires.
No, it's the bread and butter of Age of Empires. It's where everyone hones their skills, kind of, at least as starting off. But of course, it's still just a part of Age of Empires. There's so many other maps, but of course, I think Arabia it's the bread and butter of Age of Empires.
Yeah,
so yes.
I'm asking that question. If in the future were another 1v1 big tournament, what 1v1 big tournament, what map do you would like to see there? One map, more than one map?
Well, I always prefer. Usually, I'm not a big fan of like only one map only. But Arabia is like probably the only map that can get away with it because it's what everyone starts and plays and likes. So, but like for other tournaments, I like more variation where you have some hybrid maps with water and land at the same. Like I can't bring out examples right now, but I think some of the maps that the HD edition brought out are really fun to play. So we'd love to play some more of those on Woobly. But yeah, like I like a little bit more variation where there's different, where you have to prepare more outside of the tournament and make like good civ choices and play situations differently, right? Say a map like Arabia, it's an arena. It's completely different to Arabia, right? Because there's so many more different civilizations that are stronger, and there are different strategies that are much more viable, and so many different ways to play the map, right? So I like it when there's different aspects of a tournament, but of course we don't have these Arabia only maps tournaments very often, and with the settings right now where there's no mirror whatsoever, that's what makes this really fun to play.
Okay.
Primarily.
Yeah. The game is better with expansions. I never want to go back. You have said that more or less already, but I want to ask you this question. Why do you think some people, of course you have to ask, I know I have to ask that to them, but thanks God, all people seems, I mean, in the competitive, you know, the expert, like most of them are at the end, even Finland, because they were like a bit, we want, but the Max is playing, Villes also joined the tournament. What do you think is still some of them like stubborn, a bit stubborn, I don't want to play that because of the mechanics?
I think Finland were kind of waiting because they wanted to wait for Nations Cup to finish. But I think just people, they don't really, I mean, Age of Empires has been the same for how many years now? 15 years. People don't want change. And it's a bit of a shame because I think the expansions add so much more fun to the game. And I mean, people are starting to realize that. And there's so many more people playing now than, like, say, a month ago. And I mean, yeah, I think everyone will eventually start playing Wallow, and well, not everyone, of course, but like the majority will eventually start playing Wallow Kingdoms, I think.
Yeah, probably.
And it should be.
Yeah, probably there is a next tournament. Probably Dogao and some others will also join the party. Yeah. Who knows? I think so, but at least.
Yeah, Dogao's played some team games now with Wallow Kingdoms, so I mean they're all coming along shortly. But I think a reason might be a lot of people don't have too much time to learn the new civs. They prefer to just, no, don't change anything. I don't want to have to spend hours to learn this, right?
Do you think it needs that many hours? Because there is a change, but at the end, except the specific stuff, the start, for example, in most of the civilization is still being men at arms or Scout Rush. Then you have more variation if the game advance. You know, there are some start that are different. I know with Free Lambrecam upgrade from Burmese or some other, there are a lot of civilization, but I mean, it's the same game. It's still all the same mechanics. Bonus you have to learn, and some units like Genitors or the Italians go Condottieros, but at the end, it's still the same.
The game is the same, but it's like you could list up all the changes and read them. Even if you remember every single change, it's a whole different feeling playing it. You have to play so many games with each different civ to actually get a feel of how their economy works. Even though you know, okay, I get free wood upgrade here, it's not gonna. You need to actually play to get the feel of how it affects your game, how it affects your build order, how it affects the way you can build the men arms, for example. It's like there's so many things to take into account as well. Like you can't just read the change and think, okay, I know this now. You have to actually play and get used to it yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Not winning King of the Desert will mean I fail it. You said yes.
Yeah. I want to win every tournament I play most of the time. So if I don't win, then I consider it a failure.
I was asking the other day to Winchester, and he answered to that question yes too, and he said more or less similar to you. And he said, well, if I didn't think to win, why I'm playing?
Yeah.
I think that's the BK, right? I mean.
That's the right attitude.
Yeah, I said exactly that. If not, why you play? I mean, not all can win, but if you play, it's to win a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you can enter knowing that you're not the favorite or something like that, but you should always have ambition to get as far as possible, and that is to win the tournament. So, yeah, I think that's a very good attitude to have.
Do you remember this question? Good preparation for the new stuff will beat pure LC skill and knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, Yo. I mean, I don't think Stark played too much Volcanoes either, but like, just to pick a Vietnamese, for example, for Yo.
But
he's
But the Stark, the 3-4, the week before King of the Desert, because you probably didn't see it because he was playing in the late night for us, because he's from Brazil. I think he could play like 30-40 games in 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
He played a lot in the last days, because I was talking
Yo
to
or
him.
Stark?
Stark,
yeah.
Stark played a lot, and I was asking to him, well, I have nothing to lose. He told me in Vuvli, I was talking, and he told me, I have nothing to lose, but I'm motivated. I'm full motivated, and I will try my best. And he was practicing against everyone. He was playing against whoever was, and then you saw at the end. And I think so. You think Mr. Yo, was that his problem?
I think Yo knows. I mean, it's like it's such a small thing, because I think he knows the new civs and everything pretty well, but it was just like one misjudgment of one civilization cost him the whole tournament. So, I mean, just the fact that he thought the Vietnamese was a good pick made him. I mean, you can't put it all on that, but of course, if he picked a better civ than Vietnamese, the chances are he would probably win. So it's like, I think there's a decent example of how not knowing the civs in and out can actually, just completely screw you over.
Tim is the weakest player out of the 5 highest rated signups. Leary, Yo, MBL, Doubt, and Tim. You said yes.
Yeah.
Why do you think it is?
It's just straightforward. I think the others are better. That's more from playing each player. It's not like because like anything else than just when I play all the other players, they feel better than Tim. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Well, I think but we can explain a little bit. It's similar, but I want to ask you is because it's the last question about this one. Some players are much easier to beat in a tournament settings because they choke.
Yeah, I think so. Like I think the best example I have for that is whenever I play with Bacti, I feel like Bacti always just completely falls apart whenever I play with him. Because I win the first game, and then he's just like so out of it, kind of. It feel like I think I had 2 series where he's stopped playing before the final match because it feels like he just doesn't want to play anymore because he just feels like he has no chance. And I think that happened in the last Hippo tournament with Nilly as well. I was up 3-0 and he just didn't want to play the last game, so he just gave Admin a win. And like I feel like it's just because he loses game 1, and then it just snowballs from there. He gets into a bad like he starts having bad thoughts and he can't come back from that.
Yeah. Do you think that happens because when people is playing a tournament, it's like, oh man, all people is watching me, or because they think, oh, if I win, because you know that, for example, $200 in depending on what country, it's a lot more than in others, right? So do you think it can be both, or it's just that this is a tournament, and I mean, what do you think it can be? I know that it's a really general question, like it's complicated to know, but your personal feelings.
I don't think too many people think about the prize money as they're playing.
Right.
That's something they more take into account afterwards. It's probably more the fact that, okay, this is a tournament, this is where it matters, so now I have to perform. And if they can't perform under that circumstance, then that can they can bring you in a bad cycle when it comes to mindset.
Okay. I want to finish this interview. I will see if there is some also questions. Guys, I'm reading all the questions in the chat, but some question you are more or less repeating because we're talk about that already, like the balance change with the HD. It's important to have one balance the same. I mean, not one different balance in the Vubli, another in HD, right? It should be all the same. What do you think?
Sorry, can you repeat quickly? What did you say?
If the balance in the patch, it should be all the same. Like you are not going to have one with Session in Steam. And what happened? The microphone is fine.
No, this
the filter
fell off. It fell off.
The filter is fine.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Yeah,
it's cheap, man. It's cheap. You have to buy one more expensive, man. This is cheap. You're the number one. Come on, Viper.
It's fine. It's fine.
No,
but yes.
You know, I mean, all to be the same balance patch, right? Not one in Wobbly, one in HD. And you go crazy if you go to play in one side, in the other.
There should be one official one that everyone follows, and that's probably going to have to be the HD one, because that's where Wallow Kingdom originates from, right? So, yeah, I think so.
And also for me, I think it's so respect for the job that people did. I mean, you can like more or less the HD platform, but they did it. They did the balance and so on. For me, it's not nice. I mean, it's my personal opinion. For me, it's not nice that if they are doing that job with all the balance, that okay, now we are going to, now that we bring on Wobbly, and now we are going to make our personal change.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. If the balance is terrible, then of course we need to make changes. But like, I think, I mean, it will be a different thing if people, I mean, if they didn't take into account any of the competitive tournaments and stuff like that. But we know that the guys who are making the balance on HD, they are looking at our tournaments on Woobly as well and like balancing accordingly. So I think because they're doing that, it makes it completely fine to follow their balance.
Okay, I want to finish with how many finals have you faced Leary already in the tournaments? Couple of finals.
Only one.
It was only the last one in the Euro. It wasn't another one.
Oh no, it's two.
It's two finals, right?
Only one tournaments. I think I played one team game tournament as well with them, but only Euro Cup and also only Euro Cup and also the balance. I don't remember the name of the tournament, but it was.
I know which one you say, but I don't remember either. It was from HD too. But what I want to ask.
No, it wasn't HD.
No,
it was on Google.
I remember with the balance patch, that different balance. All the games count. It was.
Yeah.
All the games count. Okay.
Every game's right.
Okay, you see, I also remember. I couldn't stream, but I remember. You see, guys, you see. No, but I wanted to ask you. I know that you are a fan from football, right? Manchester United.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Mourinho. Well, let's go to another topic. But you know that always like Messi, Ronaldo. Who would be? Who you consider yourself? Messi or Ronaldo?
That's a tough question. Well, I mean, Ronaldo grew up in Manchester, so I have to go with him.
Oh man. Well, then I think now I liked you, Viper. Now I liked you too because I am from.
I know
Ronaldo
you're a Real
too.
Madrid fan as well. So
of course, no. But seriously, then who can be your Messi in Age of Empires?
Who can be the Messi? Well, I mean, you have Leary as the up-and-coming natural choice, but he needs to improve his overall gameplay outside of Arabia. I mean, from what I played him there, like the only time I pretty much played him outside of Arabia is in the escape tournaments and also on that every game counts. And you could tell that he was inexperienced on those maps. So he needs to improve that first and foremost. But on Arabia, he can match anyone. So I guess Leary is the most obvious answer, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
How do you feel about MBL? He was telling himself that he considered a bit like he don't have like a proper build order, like a style that you can say, okay, MBL has this style. Like he's going like a bit like one day played this way, other day played the other way. Do you feel that with him?
With him? Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I mean, he is a little bit here and there sometimes. I can agree to that. But I don't think anyone has build orders specifically. You always have to adapt on the maps and everything. So you can never follow, okay, I'm going to have 3 vills there, 5 vills there, and there and there. You can never do that because every map is different and you always have to adapt. So like I play without build orders as well. It's just like you always have to adapt to the situation. So
okay. Well, I have not too much to... Well, yeah. What did you feel about Nikov, like when he dropped it for the tournament? Like, because it was like a big surprise for me.
Yeah, I was surprised as well. That was a little bit of a shame. I felt like he was motivated to play these. He's been doing well in the escape tournaments on HD there, and I thought he would be motivated to try and do well here as well. But I mean, if the mindset isn't there, then there's nothing to do. It's a shame that he's not playing though. He would have been a good opponent. I mean, challenge for the tournament.
I think he's really strong too. So well. Guys, for me, I don't know if there is some other question or if you want to say something, because I think we are already, almost 1 hour. Time flies when you are fine. You see? It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
With the webcam, it's not bad at all. People have to be positive with the webcam. Nothing happened. Come on. Nothing happened. With the webcam, it's nice. I like to make this interview with the webcam because for me, it's more or less okay. But people also, in your face, you can say a lot of things. And even if you try sometimes to explain some stuff, like when I'm asking you about Jordan, you only have to smile, and then you are telling more than the
everything.
Exactly. And it's better with the webcam. But thank you for coming, man. Hope you feel good. And
I do.
Good luck for in the tournament. And let's see this 11 GMT guys Saturday, TheViper versus Jordan. I'm sure that he feels so motivated to play against you.
Yeah, but I mean, don't put off too much time. It will only be like an hour. So.
Okay, I don't have to change then the scheduled time from Leary that is playing at 12 GMT with 1 hour. 1 hour is enough for you.
Just keep it. It's fine.
Okay. I will message Leary. Don't worry, you don't have to change all your plans. Guys, this is TheViper. TheViper, completely humble, and he's not going to need more than 1 hour to beat Jordan. Thank you for coming, man. It was a pleasure.
No worries, man. Yes.
Bye-bye, man.
Same. See you, man.
Well, guys, that was like this. That was the interview with TheViper. Hope you have enjoyed a lot. I did, and I'm sure you did it too.